You see a small, helpless creature. Your heart rate slows down immediately. A flood of chemical rewards washes over your brain. This reaction feels entirely natural to you today. Why does a tiny animal hold such immense power over your mind? You live in a brutal and unforgiving world. The air is permanently thick with the threat of death. Danger surrounds your ancestors every single day. Survival requires constant vigilance against predators that are faster and stronger than you. Every calorie burned must be carefully calculated to ensure you make it through the freezing night. Your existence is a mathematical equation of energy consumed versus energy expended. A single mistake means starvation. A moment of weakness means becoming prey. Why would a lethal apex predator waste precious resources caring for a useless animal? For hundreds of thousands of years, this was your reality. You are a hunter roaming the Pleistocene landscape. The wind cuts through your rudimentary clothing. The ground is hard and unforgiving beneath your feet. Your brain is wired to detect threats and secure food. Every moving shadow is analyzed for its potential to kill you or feed you. A wolf pup wandering near your camp should represent either a quick meal or a future danger. It is a bundle of protein wrapped in fur. It is a competitor for the scarce meat you rely on to survive. Yet your hand reaches out to comfort the creature instead of striking it down. What evolutionary glitch causes you to protect a natural enemy? The answer lies deep within your neurological architecture. Your mind operates on ancient biological programming. This programming dictates your responses before you even register them consciously. You do not choose what you find beautiful. You do not choose what you find endearing. The phenomenon you call cuteness is not an emotion but a sophisticated survival mechanism. It is a biological lock-and-key system designed to keep your species alive. How did this mechanism manipulate your ancestors into crossing the species barrier? In 1943, an ethologist named Konrad Lorenz identified this precise biological trigger. Lorenz spent his life studying the instinctive behaviors of animals and humans. He discovered that specific physical traits act as powerful keys to your brain. He called this the baby schema. He measured the exact geometric proportions that command your attention. A large head relative to the body captures your focus instantly. Large eyes situated below the midline of the face lock your gaze. A protruding forehead demands your empathy. Round cheeks and a clumsy gait complete this ancient neurological trap. Did you ever realize your affection is completely involuntary? Your brain is incapable of ignoring these specific geometric proportions. You are biologically mandated to respond to them. When you see these traits, your mind instantly registers vulnerability. This visual data bypasses your logical processing centers entirely. It does not wait for your conscious mind to analyze the situation. It strikes directly at the deepest and most ancient regions of your brain. The response is swift and absolute. It is a command hardwired into your genetic code. How fast does this chemical hijacking actually happen? A researcher named Morton Kringelbach at Oxford University measured this exact phenomenon. Kringelbach wanted to see exactly what happens inside the human mind when confronted with these features. He used magnetoencephalography to scan human brains reacting to infant faces. This machine tracks the magnetic fields produced by electrical activity in the brain. The scans revealed a sudden burst of activity in the orbitofrontal cortex. This region of your brain sits just above the eye sockets. It governs emotion and reward and decision-making. The activation happens in precisely 1/7 of a second. Could you possibly fight an instinct that moves faster than conscious thought? This rapid neurological spark ignites a massive chain reaction inside your body. It is a symphony of neurochemistry designed to change your behavior instantly. Your brain unleashes a heavy dose of dopamine. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and motivation. This is the exact same chemical reward system that drives your desire for food and survival. Oxytocin floods your bloodstream immediately following the dopamine rush. Oxytocin is known as the bonding hormone. It lowers your natural defenses and reduces your fear. Your breathing becomes shallow and your muscles relax. Why is your body suddenly behaving as if it has just found a safe haven? This chemical cascade was originally designed for one specific purpose. Your evolutionary success depends entirely on raising highly helpless human infants. Human babies are born completely dependent on adult care. They cannot walk or secure food for years. They are loud and demanding and consume massive amounts of your energy. Without this overwhelming chemical reward system, your ancestors might have abandoned their demanding offspring. The baby schema forces you to love them. It forces you to protect them at the cost of your own safety. What happens when another species learns to mimic this sacred geometry? Small animals naturally possess the exact same physical traits as your own infants. A puppy has the large eyes and round face that your brain associates with human babies. A kitten has the clumsy movements and high-pitched vocalizations of a human child. Your ancient neural circuitry cannot distinguish between the two stimuli in that critical first fraction of a second. The visual input matches the template perfectly. The orbitofrontal cortex lights up just the same. You are chemically compelled to nurture the animal. Your brain is rewarding you for keeping a parasite alive. Are you domesticating the animal, or is the animal domesticating you? This biological vulnerability changed the trajectory of human history forever. It created a bridge between you and the wild world. You can see the physical evidence of this deep emotional bond buried in the earth. In the Levant region, researchers uncovered a site belonging to the Natufian culture. The archaeological site is called Ain Mala. It dates back 12,000 years to a time of massive transition. The people here were hunter-gatherers slowly transitioning to a settled lifestyle. They built semi-permanent stone structures and harvested wild cereals. What did they choose to take with them into the afterlife? Beneath the ancient soil, archaeologists found the grave of an elderly human. The skeleton was arranged carefully in a fetal position. It was a deliberate and respectful burial honoring the dead. The human hand was deliberately positioned resting on the chest of a small puppy. The puppy was buried alongside the human in a gesture of profound tenderness. The bones of the puppy belonged to an animal roughly 5 months old. This is not the grave of a master and a working tool. It is the grave of two companions crossing into eternity together. Does this ancient burial look like a partnership of convenience or a genuine emotional connection? The Ain Malaha burial proves that the baby schema had fully rewritten human behavior. The puppy was not a source of meat. The puppy was not a guard animal. It was too young to offer any practical utility to a hunter-gatherer. The puppy was a companion that triggered the human instinct to nurture. Your ancestors spent precious time and energy digging a shared grave for a creature from another species. They recognized the animal as a member of their own family group. This act defied all the cold logic of prehistoric survival. How did a ruthless hunter-gatherer become a devoted caretaker? An anthropologist named Pat Shipman developed a theory called the animal connection. Shipman suggests that your deep empathy for animals is what gave you an evolutionary advantage over other hominids. You did not just hunt animals for food. You studied them and communicated with them and eventually welcomed them into your camps. Neanderthals were stronger and better adapted to the cold. But Neanderthals did not domesticate wolves. Your ancestors formed an unprecedented interspecies alliance based entirely on this accidental chemical reward system. You shared your resources, and in return you gained their enhanced senses and speed. Did your overwhelming empathy actually save you from extinction? Let us reconstruct a specific day in the depths of the Ice Age to understand how this happened. You are returning to your camp after a long and exhausting hunt. The winter air bites at your skin and numbs your fingers. The landscape is completely barren and covered in a thick layer of frost. Every step requires immense effort. You carry a meager amount of scavenged meat back to your fire. Your stomach aches with a hunger that is never truly satisfied. A faint sound catches your attention near the edge of the trees. Will your ancient survival instincts tell you to attack or to investigate? You crouch low to the ground and grip your spear tightly. You move silently through the brush expecting a predator. You find a shivering wolf pup separated from its mother. It is small and weak and completely vulnerable. The logical choice is to dispatch the animal and consume it for extra calories. Your rational mind knows this is the right decision for your survival. Instead, the pup looks up at you with enormous round eyes. Its face matches the exact geometric proportions identified by Konrad Lorenz. It lets out a high-pitched vocalization that perfectly mimics the frequency of a crying human infant. Your orbitofrontal cortex ignites in 1/7 of a second. Your hand drops your weapon and reaches down to gather the shivering creature. Can you feel the oxytocin suppressing your hunger and replacing it with overwhelming empathy? You bring the pup back to the warmth of your fire. Your tribe members watch you with confusion. You share your fiercely guarded food with an animal that would normally compete against you. You offer it scraps of meat that you desperately need for yourself. The pup survives the night because your neurological wiring left you no other choice. It grows stronger and remains close to your camp. It begins to alert you to approaching dangers. It helps you track game. This exact scenario played out countless times across the prehistoric world. The baby schema acted as a universal passport across species lines. What is the true nature of this strange biological loophole? Here is the surprising truth that contradicts everything you assume about nature. Cuteness is not a luxury or a trivial byproduct of evolution. Cuteness is a highly aggressive and ruthless survival mechanism. It is a biological strategy utilized by the weak to exploit the strong. Animals that triggered your baby schema survived while others were hunted to extinction. A researcher named Brian Hare calls this the survival of the friendliest. Hare studies cognitive evolution and animal behavior. He points out that aggression is often a poor survival strategy. Friendliness and the ability to trigger empathy are far more powerful weapons. Did you conquer the animal kingdom with weapons, or did the animal kingdom conquer your heart with big eyes? By exploiting your ancient neural circuitry, these small animals guaranteed their own future. Wolves that looked slightly more juvenile were spared and fed by your ancestors. They possessed shorter snouts and larger eyes. Over thousands of generations, these wolves evolved into dogs. This process is called domestication syndrome. As animals become tamer, their physical appearance changes to look more like infants. They retain their juvenile features into adulthood. They develop permanently floppy ears and rounder faces. They biologically weaponize the baby schema to ensure you would always protect them. You thought you were taming the wild, but the wild was hacking your brain. Are you truly the master of this relationship if your biology leaves you no choice? The Russian geneticist Dmitry Belyaev proved this exact mechanism in a famous experiment. Belyaev took wild silver foxes and bred them selectively for tameness. He only allowed the most friendly foxes to reproduce. He did not select for physical appearance at all. Within a few generations, the foxes underwent a radical physical transformation. Their coats became spotted. Their tails began to curl. Their ears became floppy. Their faces became rounder and more childlike. The genetic traits for friendliness are intrinsically linked to the physical traits of the baby schema. The foxes became cute because they became friendly. How does biology weave personality and appearance so tightly together? This evolutionary hack remains fully active in your mind today. You sit in a comfortable modern room far removed from the frozen Pleistocene landscape. You are safe from predators and you have abundant food. Yet your brain operates exactly as it did 10,000 years ago. You stare at a glowing screen and watch videos of small animals playing. Your heart rate drops and a faint smile appears on your face. You feel a sudden urge to protect the creature on the screen. The exact same dopamine and oxytocin reward loop is firing in your orbitofrontal cortex. You are experiencing a chemical reaction designed to keep a human infant alive. Why does your modern brain still respond to a survival tactic designed for the Ice Age? Your biology has not changed since you shared that fire with the wolf pup. Your modern world is built on concrete and steel. You have insulated yourself from the natural elements. The modern world strips away your connection to the wild, but it cannot erase your deep programming. You are still the ancient human compelled to nurture anything with large eyes and a clumsy walk. Marketers and animators use this exact same geometry to sell you products and movie tickets. They exaggerate the eyes and round the faces of their characters to hijack your ancient neural pathways. They are pressing the exact same biological buttons that the wolf pup pressed. Are you aware of how easily your oldest instincts are manipulated? The baby schema is a permanent part of your humanity. It is the biological anchor that prevents you from becoming entirely detached from the natural world. It is the bridge that connected a lonely species to the rest of the animal kingdom. Without this accidental vulnerability in your brain architecture, you would have faced the Ice Age entirely alone. You would not have shared your fires. You would not have forged alliances with wolves. Your survival story is built on a foundation of involuntary empathy. Your heart rate slows down as a flood of chemical rewards washes over your brain, leaving you entirely powerless to resist the overwhelming biological command to protect a small and helpless creature.